We naturally possess the most remarkable tool for connecting to people and attaining social power: empathy. Empathy is the ability to sense and be aware of other people's emotions. The ability to listen with the sincere intention of understanding another person's opinion, to imagine what they are experiencing, what it's like to be in their shoes. Unfortunately, the opposite of empathy, narcissism, is on the rise, and social media is a contributing factor. Social media plays into the greatest psychological need humans have: the need for attention, approval, and validation. A 2018 study, conducted over a 4-month period, found that excessive posting of selfies was associated with a 25% increase in narcissistic traits. And a 2019 survey found that 85% of people are taking more selfies than they ever did before. There are two main ways we share content on social media. The first is idea-based content. These are articles, stories and photographs that can be discussed and debated. The second type is me-focused content. Pictures of me, what I am doing, what I have, who I am with, and how I am feeling. It's all about me. Social media platforms have become for many people a way to get attention. We share something about ourselves and hope for likes and comments, to measure our self-worth, to make us feel good about ourselves and our lives. We look at content posted by others and compare our lives to theirs. All this self-absorbed activity is socially, mentally and emotionally unhealthy. The person today, who deliberately practices empathy in their daily lives, will have great power and influence. With empathy you give others what they desperately crave, what we all crave and need. That is, to be understood, to be affirmed, to be validated and to be appreciated. As author Brené Brown said, empathy is communicating the incredible healing message of, "You are not alone." The benefits of empathy cannot be overstated. Reading other people will help you make decisions that are good for you. It connects you to other people in deep and meaningful ways. Empathy promotes abilities that help us handle stress. It builds skills for handling difficult situations. We communicate with others in more effective ways. We understand others, and we feel better understood ourselves. Empathy is a foundation for the moral behaviors that create a more civil society, literally making our world a better place. A large part of being empathic is your attitude when interacting with other people. It's a mistake to assume that you are good at understanding people and can quickly judge and categorize them. Instead, it's better to assume that you have natural biases that will make you judge people incorrectly. So you must work at maintaining an open mind. Empathy requires knowing that you know nothing. People do not walk around like an open book, but wear social masks that serve their purposes. These masks are not the reality of who they really are, which makes people hard to read. Never assume that someone is like you or shares your values. People may look alike, but inside, they are never the same. Everyone has a different psychological makeup. Part of being empathic is giving other people the benefit of the doubt when they make a mistake. Typically, when we make a mistake ourselves, we write it off to circumstances, not a character flaw we may have. Now extend that same indulgence to other people. When they make a mistake, consider the circumstances that might have made them do what they did, instead of immediately concluding they are of bad character. When we are judgmental, it hurts everyone, including ourselves, cutting us off from those around us. Being able to effectively adopt an attitude of empathy will depend on the quality of your self-love. If you think you are better than others, or are gripped by insecurities, you will have a hard time being empathetic. You have the same imperfect nature as everyone else. You need to accept yourself as you are, including all your shortcomings. You are not perfect, and that is okay. The more willing we are to look clearly at our fears and insecurities, embracing them and taking responsibility for them, the more able we are to be empathetic with others. All judgment is a reflection of our self-judgment. If you forgive yourself, you can begin to forgive others, clearing the path to empathy. When you can appreciate and love your own imperfect character, you will have the inner strength to give others your full attention. The best way to demonstrate your empathy is through your numerous daily conversations. Turn your cell phone off and give the other person your undivided attention. The first thing to understand about emphatic listening is that it's not about you. It's about the other person. It can be hard to put aside personal opinions and make it all about the person in front of you. So before you offer an ear of support, make sure you're available emotionally. Listen with the intention of understanding the other person, instead of just waiting for your turn to talk. Emphatic listening is active listening. You need to be in the here and now, and immerse yourself into the other person's universe. When you give a person your complete attention and really listen to them, you are giving them a gift they desperately crave. When you listen with the intent to understand, not only will you learn more about the person you are listening to, but you are building a bond of trust, respect, and goodwill. It is often hard to figure out what another person is thinking, but feelings and moods are much easier to pick up. Moods are contagious. The people around us are continually affecting how we feel. We can turn this natural response we have into understanding people. When you encounter someone, detect their mood by focusing your attention on their body language and tone of voice, before you focus on their words. This is listening with your ears, eyes, and heart. Mirroring the emotions of another person can create a strong bond. If you absorb the mood of another person, and reflect it back to them, you will create rapport. People crave this emotional rapport because it is so rare in their daily lives. It makes us feel understood on a deep visceral level. Always maintain some distance when you directly feel the emotions of another person. You want to be able to analyze what you are picking up, but you don't want to get carried away by their emotion. People who are connecting in conversation will mimic each other physically, with similar posture and gestures, for instance both crossing their legs at the same time. Begin with an appropriate level of eye contact to show the other person you are listening. Carefully mirror their gestures, like nodding or smiling when they do. But this must be done in a subtle manner. If you mirror someone too obviously, it will feel creepy. Attuning yourself to someone's emotions is a great way to read the intentions behind their words. Words can be tricky, but there is always an emotion hiding behind any intention, revealing what they really want. For example, let's say someone suddenly shows great interest in your life, giving you attention you have never had before. Do they really like you? Or are they after something else, trying to soften you up so they can use you for their own purposes? Instead of focusing on their words, try to pick up on the feeling or vibe you are getting from them. How deeply are they listening? Are they making consistent eye contact? While they are listening to you, does it feel like they are distracted or self-absorbed? If you are the object of sudden attention but it seems unreliable, they are likely after something else. Probably intending to ask a favor or manipulate you in some way. As students of human nature, we develop our empathy as a skill. Remember, the more people you interact with face to face, the better you will get. The greater the variety of people you meet, the more versatile your skill will become. Keep your attention active to see the effect you are having on them, and how they change during the course of a conversation. Observe people as they interact with others besides yourself. People often act very different depending on who they are interacting with at the time. To practice empathy, you must drop the idea of categorizing people. In any interaction, your idea of a person should never settle into a judgment. Instead, focus on the vibe and mood they stir up within you. Understand that these emotional vibes people evoke are fluid, continually shifting. With practice, you will begin to discover more and more cues that people give, revealing their psychology. As your ability to read people gets better, you will avoid unnecessary conflict, making your ride through life smoother, in every way.